Update from original post of my BF, 24M, not wanting me, 22F, to take antidepressants. Here is a link to the original post. It's been a year. Ellie and I are both a year older now than before. Imagine that. I began taking my antidepressants a few months after the original post was made. I went through more therapy to be absolutely certain that I needed the medication. My therapist used the same multiple choice test on my feelings and symptoms twice, pre-test and post-test, to determine that nothing had changed or gotten better really over the course of 3 months or so. I began taking 10 mg a day of an antidepressant and sensed a change fairly quickly. It took 3 to 4 weeks to fully kick in, but I think I started feeling it around 2 weeks. I'm so much happier than before, and I do not think about my life ending 3 to 5 times a week anymore. Now that I write that, I rarely think about it at all now. The things that used to seem like mountains are now just little molehills. I cannot fully express how I wish I would have considered taking medication earlier. I feel like I wasted years of my life being so disgustingly unhappy. Just earlier this week I broke up with Ellie because I will be moving away for a job and I was no longer happy with the way the relationship was going. I still care about him immensely, and because I care about him so much I knew it was best to cut things off if I could not see the relationship progressing further after 3 years of dating. I'm super excited to start a new chapter in my life. TLDR, took meds, broke up with boyfriend, feeling insanely better. Smile. Thanks so much to all who originally commented and gave me advice, or tough love. Edit, corrected text. Update I, 23 meters, found my girlfriend's, 23F. Fake Instagram account, where she follows my exes, past flings, hookups, etc. Original post here. So I decided to try to talk to my girlfriend casually about the account. I told her that, when she was letting me use her phone, I logged her out of Instagram, and was going to log into mine, so that I could post a photo directly from her phone, and saw the other account as an option. I noticed the other account. She looked horrified at first, but then without any prompting at all she confessed that she had a super insecure day after exactly the incident I was discussing with other commenters here. So thank you very much for making me introspect. Reddit. She ranted to her best friend about how she was feeling, and the two of them made the account. They created the accounts that accepted the follow requests. Her friend helped her boost her ego a bit with some girl talk, and she completely forgot about it. She said she was having a really hard time when I was depressed, but felt like she couldn't complain about it because my pain was worse, so she just sort of let a whole bunch get to her over time. She told me that she felt her poor handling of certain things this summer, her words, and the massive insecurity she felt was an indicator that she probably needed to talk to someone and work through some things, and she's actually been seeing a therapist every other week or so for the past few months. This wasn't just due to the summer, as she felt she's needed to do this for a while. It was just sort of what motivated her. This shocked me, and she apologized for not telling me. She says that she felt like she couldn't complain to me about her mental health when she knew I was going through so much. And then when I started to get better she didn't know how to randomly bring it up since some time had passed. I had no idea how hard my depression was on her. I feel so selfish that I didn't even notice, but she says she completely understands and she knows how preoccupying depression can be. All in all, she apologized profusely for the account, deleted it in front of me, and we promised to try to get back to being the good communicators we were before my depression hit. TLDR, talked to her. She was embarrassed, had forgotten about the account, and revealed why she made the account without any prompting. She took trying to support me during my depression harder than I realized, and we are going to try to be better communicators. My 25F boyfriend, 30M, has been texting non-stop with his friend's wife, 30SF, for the past 2 weeks. Weird or fine? My boyfriend has this group of friends who he has been friends with since middle school. I've been dating my boyfriend 7 months. His friend is engaged to this girl and getting married this weekend. My boyfriend apparently said to his friend something like, "Hey, I want to congratulate your wife to be and welcome her to the friend group, since you are like my brother. Now she's like my sister." When he initially told me this, I didn't see it as a red flag. But last night, he comes out like this: "Babe, I need to tell you something. I've been texting with her every day," then proceeds to tell me she's basically been gossiping and talking about random stuff to him. The way he said it sounded borderline confession YMO. He started getting defensive and acting weird. I didn't say anything to trigger that really. I just said, "You know, it's interesting that you guys talk to each other as girlfriends," in a nice tone. He goes, "What do you mean by interesting?" and proceeded to grill me and accuse me of being insecure over it. I said, "Let me make myself clear. I'm fine with you talking to her. Text her as much as you want, babe." But his whole vibe continued to be off. I wasn't suspicious, but now I'm starting to be. This isn't the first time there's been an issue with him excessively texting another girl all the time. I want to trust him, but his behavior attitude is making me uneasy. What do you think? TLDR, is it normal for him to be texting her this much? Edit. Everyone is saying to tell the friend Anne. As much as I would like to, there is no chance in hell. I can think of 99 ways that'll backfire on me. Edit again. Side detail, he asked me if I would be okay with my friends texting him. I told him I would not be comfortable with that. I told him if it works for some other women in their relationships, then that's great, and I respect that. But he should also respect that I would not like it if my friends texted him constantly. He proceeded to get heated and try to convince me that I'm wrong. I told him his vigor on the topic was bizarre because he's never even met my friends and maybe I would reevaluate when the time came. Was my M24 friend F23 trying to hook up with me? I invited an old friend of mine to my apartment and we were talking, having a good time, and then she wanted to show me a tattoo that was kind of close to her vagina. Close enough that she even had to pull her pants down a little bit. She told me to touch her tattoo, but I just froze because I didn't really feel comfortable doing that. There was kind of a long awkward silence, and then she let out a long sigh, and then pretty shortly after she said she just wanted to leave, but not in a mean or resentful way or anything. We've never really talked ever since. Later I started to wonder if she was there to hook up, because it didn't really make sense to me, and it would make some other things make sense. She also has a boyfriend, but has cheated on her boyfriends before. I don't know if they have an open relationship or not. TLDR, she tried to get me to touch her tattoo that was a little close to her vagina and then stopped talking to me after I didn't really want to do it. People keep assuming I'm gay. I, 26M, am a grad student and literally anytime sexuality comes up in a conversation, literally everyone assumes I'm gay, and I can't figure out why. I doubt I'm missing hints at flirting, since I don't go out much. I'm a friendly person and have female friends, but if I don't find them attractive I just stay friends with them. I haven't been in a relationship in 4 years, moving around a lot plus lockdown didn't help with that. People say take it as a compliment. If a guy hits on you, okay sure, but it gets annoying after 4 years of no relationship. Is there anything I can do to stop people assuming this? TLDR. How do I stop people from assuming I'm gay? It's getting annoying. Every time I introduce a new friend, 23F, to one of my 26F close friends, she starts making plans with them without me. Hi. Could use some perspective on this, because it's been bothering me, and I'm not sure how to handle it. For context, I've lived in my city for about 8 years, and went to college here, so I have a few close friends and a pretty solid larger group of friends. About 6 months ago I befriended a coworker, and we got pretty close. She was fairly new to city and didn't know a lot of people besides her boyfriend, so I was happy to introduce her to a few of my close friends. However, every time I would introduce her to someone she would almost immediately start making plans with them one and not invite me. I still see her and these friends fairly regularly on their own, but she never invites me when they hang out together. Though whenever my friends make plans with her, they invite me. I don't have to be involved in every single interaction, but it feels weird that she never invites me to plans she makes with my friends. Multiple times recently I've asked my best friend to hang out, and she said she can't because she's hanging out with new friend. Should I bring it up to her or just let it go? We hung out the other day and she jokingly said, by the way, thanks for letting me steal all your friends. Haha. TLDR, every time I introduce my new friend to my old friend she starts making plans without me. How do I handle this? I, 34M, found out my ex-GF, 33F, died yesterday. We have a kid. Me and my ex were together for about 6 years. We broke up a little over a year ago after I found out she was having an affair. We have a 3-year-old son together that I love more than anything in the world. She had primary custody of him because I feel like a child should never be torn away from his mother unless the mother is abusive and I can't raise him properly. Plus, I get to see him whenever I like. So yesterday afternoon, I picked up my son up from his mom's house to spend the rest of the day with me. She went out for drinks later with her friends. I thought nothing of it because she has done this a ton of times. I got a call around 11 PM from one of her friends, a call that I never want to hear about someone I'm close with. According to her friend, she was super drunk and couldn't even walk properly. She ran out onto the street and a car hit her. She was rushed to hospital and she died on the way there. I'm in so much pain right now. I love this woman. We have a beautiful child together. How will I eventually explain this to my son? TLDR, ex-GF died after a car hit her. We have a child. I, 25F, found hurtful messages about me on my BF 25M. Discord. My boyfriend and I have been together about a year, and I'm very confident that there's a ton of love shared between us. He is incredibly considerate and caring, always making sure I'm fed, comfortable, and content. We both work full-time office jobs. I also do bartending most weekends, but never fail to check in on each other and plan fun events and trips. Recently, however, I saw a string of messages between him and his friends GF about me that were very hurtful. It was a long time ago, just a few weeks after we met, and we had only been hooking up as friends, but it still makes my stomach turn. He said he wouldn't ever want to be in a relationship with me, and how he wasn't thinking as much about some other girl he actually wanted BC, at least he was getting action. He told her that it was sad that I cared so much, because I admitted to him I wasn't used to opening myself up to guys who were nice to me. I even spent a night's tips to buy him a festival ticket for his day, and they mocked me for it, saying I'm trying to buy his love. He has been very understanding and apologetic since I brought this up to him, and assured me that it was all just his insecurities and denial, that he was falling for me. I definitely understand being closed off after relationship hurt. I was just very surprised because I thought we at least cared for each other as friends. Yes, I was probably a bit too eager, but he was also the one constantly hitting me up to go out, visiting me at work, and bringing my fave foods to my house, even before we were official. I also know that it was never my business to be reading his chats. I just saw lots of mutual friends and was looking for fun. Actually, I never expected to see anything incriminating, and I know we've only had sweet things to say about each other ever since he officially asked me to be with him. TLDR, tips on forgiving a partner for hurtful past comments behavior. I don't want to mess up our present and future by letting this get to me. My best friend, 23F, tried to test me, 21F, by asking her husband, 34M, to text me to cheat. I passed her test, but I'm offended by what she did. My friend Sarah has been married for 6 months now. I've known her since we were in 3rd grade and we go to college together. A few days ago I got a text message from her husband Austin saying I like you more than I like her. I didn't text him back then. He said wanna do something later? I ignored him again. Then he said, don't ignore my texts. I texted him saying what? I'm Lily. Then he said I know you're Lily. I said okay, why are you texting me this? He said because I really like you. I said okay, bye. After that he sent me 10 plus text messages telling me how beautiful he thinks I am and that I look 10x better now that I had my braces removed. He was basically flirting with me. Next morning I saw them at school. I didn't say anything, but he was giving me a I wanna fuck you looks. Whatever that is. When we got separated from him to go to our classes, I told Sarah about what happened. I told her I'm not a homewrecker and I hope your marriage works. But Austin sent me these texts as I searched for the messages. She stopped me and said you passed our test, Austin, and I wanted to see if you would confront me of what he did. It was so weird. I said okay. We went to class and the day went by quickly. We even saw him and they laughed it off. It's been 2 days now and I feel betrayed. It was so unnecessary, and I'm offended by the fact that she feels the need to test her best friend's loyalty. I'm even more offended to know that they both came up with these compliments out of my own insecurities that only her is aware of. She's the only one who knows how bad I feel about my teeth. She's the only one who knows about how insecure I am when it comes to my skin tone. And I have to admit that it lifted my self-esteem to hear this from him, but I still thought it was not loyal of him. I feel bad to know that she used my insecurities to trap me into cheating with her husband, then confront me. She thinks I'm okay with it. I'm not okay at all. I may have acted okay that day, but it was because I was shocked. Am I being childish? Maybe it was just a joke and I'm taking it too seriously. TLDR, my best friend told her husband to flirt with me to see if I'm going to fall for it or not. When I told her about what I thought he was doing behind her back, she told me that she knew and that she was testing me. When she first told me, I didn't react badly. I was okay with it. Now 2 days later, it just hit me how awful her joke was, since she used my insecurities to trap me with him. Am I being too childish? Maybe it was just a joke and I'm taking it too seriously.